Okay, we'll continue with our warm weather hockey, thoughts this week. Now, this next story, at first when I went over this, doing my research, I thought I was reading a prehistoric version of The Onion. But now this guy is absolutely serious. Bill Boucher of the Miami Herald explains to us a bizarre plan in Miami, Florida. With future Super Bowls obviously lost to Miami, as long as the present polyturf floor remains in the Orange Bowl, why not campaign for the Stanley Cup championships instead? Rather than spend taxpayers' money junketing to Honolulu for the National Football League meeting in spring, City of Miami officials would save time and money with a simple phone call to Montreal. Clarence Campbell, president of the National Hockey League, could be advised that Miami boasts the only outdoor skating rink in the tropics. Besides, the weather in April is ideal, and the Orange Bowl Arena can hold 75,000 hockey buffs. The least Campbell could do was agree to a feasibility study paid for by the City of Miami, which has a passion for feasibility studies anyway. One more certainly wouldn't hurt. Think of all the Canadians who come to Florida in the spring. Their numbers at Gulfstream indicate that most Canadian tourists are horse players, but that's probably just incidental. The Canadian who scorns hockey risks the same dangerous classification as the Frenchman who ignores the vineyards of Chateau Ausson in France. While rooting for their Stanley Cup favorites, the Canadians would find Hialeah Racecourse a pleasant and different diversion in April. Hialeah is likely to welcome all the Canadians it can get. Gulfstream will be actionless by edict of the Florida Supreme Court, which recently awarded the winter racing dates to the Broward County track. The energies of the state's highest justice tribunal this year seem to be concentrated on horse and doggy schedules. Getting the polyturf into proper condition for the Stanley Cup should offer no insurmountable problems. Quarterback Jim Plunkett of the New England Patriots observed after last Sunday's Dolphins game that, quote, "It's pretty tough to block when you're playing on ice." Plunkett, of course, was apologizing for his offensive linemen, victims of defensive infiltration, to the extent that Plunkett was sacked 7 times in passing situations. Dolphin defenders, for their part, had the notion that they could have dropped poor Plunkett a dozen times had they not skated past him over the blue line. "We were around him all afternoon, but sometimes we just slid by," said Manny Fernandez, who's the Dolphins' defensive tackle. Now, of course, I was a little bit misleading. This guy is not serious about this. What he's getting at is the turf in the Orange Bowl is way too slick, way too slippery, and he says that the Stanley Cup would be something that could be played rather than football on such a slippery surface. So, the seed was planted in 1972, though. Football stadiums hosting hockey games. At that time, this was just another goofy idea that somebody come up with to actually whine about the surface in a football stadium. Who knew that 40 or 50 years later, maybe not even that, I haven't done my math, hockey and football stadiums turned out to be quite an event, although I must admit it's losing its luster to me now. All it is now is if it happens to rain, if it happens to be in a snowstorm, it isn't really that great to watch anymore, is it?